And we need a policy book. Okay, but people are very confused on what to put in the policy book.
Usually a sisterhood has their own policy book and
Right,
they
and
pass it
apparently we
down.
had one ages ago.
So can you talk to somebody who was sisterhood president, 20, 30, 40 years ago and see where it is? So you want to recreate it?
Problem.
Faye, go ahead.
Yes,
Faye,
yeah,
go
we
ahead.
want to recreate, start from now.
Faye,
Try asking one of the former parliamentarians. Perhaps it never got passed along to somebody, but
Correct.
usually that's the person that.
I've talked to them, and I've traced it back to probably, cripes, 15 years ago, and it's disappeared.
yeah.
So just start from scratch and think of the things.
That's what we're doing. We're starting from scratch, but the
Right.
problem is we have some of the ladies that are just so confused on what should go into it.
Okay, so you know what, Eileen, you and I will take this off the call, and I will connect you with Marilyn Berkowitz, who's the international parliamentarian. The other thing you might want to do is try to talk to a neighboring sisterhood or a sisterhood in your region that might have a policy book and ask them if they would share, so you have a place to start. But let's talk. Let's you can call me later, or I'll call you later. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Most definitely.
I just
So
did want to tell Deborah
yes, Audrey.
that there was a man in her living room. He was at the window.
Thanks for the update.
He's gone now, so I don't know where he is. Yes, he belongs there.
Okay then. So let me just say there's a lot of chat about the color, and yes, I'm wearing red. A lot of us are wearing red. It's
Yes,
Women's Heart Health Day, and you wear red on Women's Heart Health Day. I know that BQLI had a wonderful program last night on women's cardiac health. If we had more time, I would ask, and if we do run a little short, maybe if Anise is on, she can talk about it, but I understand it was a fabulous program last night with a cardiologist. So let me just say that Edna and I have worked this morning to try to figure out how we are going to share the Sharsheret program. We both thought it was a webinar and we could do that, but apparently it's not. It's a Zoom. So all of you need to get off this Zoom and get on that Zoom. A number of us have put the Zoom link in, and Edna put one in and I put a different one in. I think I put in the one that came to me directly when I registered. So you may go on my Zoom link and it may show up as Debbie Goldich. So don't be surprised.
Debbie?
You can be me for the day. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. So just know that if you didn't register, you can use Edna's link or my link to get on. We will get off here at 12:29, so you can get on there for 12:30. Okay, Edna, shoot.
I did try the link just to see if it was the right one, and it is. I was on a waiting room, which won't start until it starts, but it is the right link.
Okay, and I tried my link and it came up as Debbie Goldich because I registered. So feel free to come in on my link or Edna's link. And we will put that in a few more times so that if you haven't had a chance to write it down, you can write it down now. Okay. And for those of you who don't know how to write in a link, you go to Zoom and it'll say, put in the password link, and you just put in the numbers and the password. And instead of password, I wrote assword, and I apologize for that. I was typing very fast. So what can I say? I'm human. And yes, I can. It's Friday. It's been a very long week, folks. So I love you all, and I'm sure that you accept my mistakes. Okay. Lovely day today. I want to welcome everybody. I am going to mute unless anyone has any questions about the Sharsheret before I mute.
What's it about? What is the program? I'm trying to find it.
Hold on the program is called Sharsheret Shabbat, and it's if those of you who may not be familiar with Sharsheret, it's an organization that deals with breast and ovarian cancer in women. We have partnered with them many times before. We are a co-sponsor of this event today, and it's called Sharsheret Shabbat, and it's a day for women to ease into Shabbat. There's some wonderful music and programming, some readings, and it's just a nice opportunity to ease into Shabbat. That's the way they advertised it. I know many of you leave this class, this program, and go into the Hebrew class at 1 o'clock, and we certainly don't want you to miss that. It's just an opportunity to have, you know, an ease into Shabbat. And so if you'd like to go on after this for half an hour and do that before the Hebrew class, that's great. Otherwise, join if you want. It's just, we decided to partner with it because we have partnered with Sharsheret many times before. Obviously, being a women's organization, it's something that we're very interested in. So with that said, I know Edna and I are going to both put that Zoom link back in the chat many times. So if you didn't catch it the first time and the chat's moving too fast, you can do it anytime. Okay. Debbie and Toby, I don't see you on my screen. I'm hoping you're here with me today.
We're both here.
We're here and I put you live.
Excellent. I'm so glad to see you both wearing red. Lovely. Okay. Deb, you have the list of who's doing what? I know.
Yes, ma'am. Today, thank you in advance to Amy Schwartz is going to sing Mishabera. Dina Gordon is going to lead the Kaddish list. Marian Tully is going to lead Kaddish. Karen Weiner and Nancy Goldberg are going to read the psalm.
Okay.
I needed to change venue. Just give me one. Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay.
Oh, Rabbi did not give me slides for today. If you wait just a minute, I can get some, or do you know it well enough? Well, she didn't send me slides, so, and I didn't think to go looking for them ahead of time because I forgot we needed slides. So give me just a moment.
We'll wait 1 minute.
You may be able to get in through yesterday's slides if she's.
That is a good point. I will get them in a sec.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, I know most of the words, but not 100% by heart, and I don't want to throw anybody off, so I'll wait.
All right, give me just a second.
Sure.
Of course, when you want something, you can't find it so quickly.
Welcome to my life.
I just didn't think about needing it since she didn't send me anything.
So I'm scrolling through and many of you have read on, which is lovely to see. I know that this is something that many, many years in the making. I think it's been about 5 years. And all the morning anchors and all the TV shows were read today. Even the men had red ties on, which was lovely. It's support of women's heart health. So Marlene Ostro is sitting in front of a red wall. That's great.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Karen, do you want to start?
Yeah, I was, okay, thank you. Adonai, one second. Adonai is sovereign, crowned with splendor. Adonai reigns, robed in strength.
You set the earth on, excuse me, you set the earth on a sure foundation. You created a world that stands firm.
Your kingdom stands from earliest time. You are eternal. The rivers may rise and rage. The waters may pound and pulsate. The floods may swirl and storm.
Yet above the crash of the sea and its mighty breakers is Adonai, our God supreme.
Your decrees, Adonai, never fail. Holiness befits your house for eternity.
Okay. I want to thank the tag team of Massachusetts. Thank you very much.
And my new
So we did talk today about a different kind of a day and not have Pirkei Avot teaching so much from text, but to talk about Pirkei Avot moments. Toby and Debbie, do you want to take over or? No? Okay. So yesterday we talked about, please jump in, Toby and Debbie, at any moment, okay? We talked about moments that in your life that reflect the teaching of this week, from wisdom versus knowledge. And we'd like to be able to get a lot of people to share. So I'm going to ask you to talk about that moment, but keep it brief so that many of us can share those moments before we want to get off and go to the Sharsheret program. I know it's hard to rush people when we talk Torah, but we do have another program that we want to get to. So is there anyone that would like to unmute and start? Debbie Green.
If I've already said this in this forum, I apologize. But to me, my favorite example of wisdom versus formal knowledge is my mother. Her formal education ended when she was 15 because of the Nazis. And she always used to talk about how everybody else was smarter than she was because they had college educations. And her education, formal education, ended at 15. She was the wisest person I knew. And when she was tested by a neuropsychologist and the determination came that she had early stage Alzheimer's, the test results showed that her IQ was genius level for her age. And it was so nice to finally be able to say, see, I told you so. Just because other people are college educated doesn't mean they're smarter. It just means they have more formal education. You can still be wise. She was so wise in so many ways, and always trying to learn more. She took classes at the high school at night to learn bookkeeping, to for my parents' business, and just, English grammar and spelling were always perfect. She made sure of that. So there's a big, difference there.
Right. And that's what we learned this week. Thank you, Debbie. And we know that your mother's memory blesses you every day. We're going to go to Marlene and then Charles.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to follow up on what Debbie said. My mother-in-law finished high school and did go to school for bookkeeping and accounting. She was the oldest sister and had to support her family. And she too was also very sensitive about the fact that she, quote, didn't have college or multiple degrees, but boy did she get it on life, on practicality, on thinking ahead, on diplomacy. So I've learned an awful lot from my mother-in-law, for which I'm grateful.
Nice, very nice. Charles.
Yes, the person I'm highlighting is my daughter, Emma. When she was about 15, I took her to post-Katrina New Orleans to work with a Jewish disaster relief organization in Minnesota called Nechama. We gutted houses. But the whole thing seemed so futile to me because there were miles of destroyed houses in the Ninth Ward. And what was the purpose of getting a particular house down to its beams or whatever. But anyway, as we were doing this and dragging everything out of these houses, my daughter took it upon herself whenever she spotted anything like a little photograph of the family or memorabilia, personal things, destroyed things or damaged things. She cleaned them up and put them on the lawn in a particular place. And when the family came by, they broke down in tears because their only wedding picture was there and a number of other things. And so in her wisdom, Emma told us all what we were actually doing, which was telling people that people cared about them and offering them some opportunity to try to start to pull together the shreds of their life.
Wonderful memory. Thank you, Charles. Susie.
So Debbie and I are second cousins, and Hilda was my adored first cousin. When she arrived in the United States, she stayed with us. I was maybe 6 or so, and she was the first adult who sat down and talked to me. But later in life, I mean, we of course maintained an absolutely loving relationship. Later in life, when my eldest got married, I said to her, I'm really nervous about being a mother-in-law. Can you give me some advice? She looked me right in the eye and she said, Susie, just shut up.
Okay, so as the mother of 3 sons, I can attest that that's the best advice you can give. Thank you, Susie, for sharing that one. Who's next? Audrey.
So on a little different tone, I grew up in a family that I was the baby, and the baby was never told anything. It was, you don't have to know, you don't have to know. So many years later, I went to a conference, sisterhood conference at the Concord Hotel, and decided that the sisterhood here in Charlotte needed something new to do, not to be rummage sales anymore. So at the conference, they had a class or a program on Braille. So I went to this meeting and decided that, yes, I think we could learn to do that and be part of the community. So I came home and my sister called, how was your trip and what did you learn? And I said, I learned that I'm going to do Braille. And she said, why? And I said, so that I can help people who are blind. And she said, I'm losing my eyesight, dear. She said, I expect in 2 or 3 months I will be blind. I had no idea. And from that moment on, I was determined that I was going to be of help to people who were blind. She didn't go blind, she died instead, but it opened my, you'll pardon the expression, it opened my eyes to the fact that there are things that God plans and you don't know about it until the last minute.
Right. Audrey, that's a wonderful story. And we know that your sister's memory blesses you. And I'm glad that you had that opportunity through Women's League and Sisterhood. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
I want to tell you that 15 people signed up to learn Braille.
Mm-hmm.
3 people showed up for the first class. I was the only one who became certified through the Library of Congress. When I moved back to Charlotte after 15 years somewhere else, I went back to the Association for the Blind and said, here I am, I'm ready to start. And he said, we don't need you anymore. I said, why? Everything is now computerized. I did it by hand. So.
Interesting. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Anybody else? I don't see any hands up. Seriously, no one has a Pirkei Avot moment? Doreen, Thank you, Doreen.
Okay, so these teachings have taught me to think twice before I react to a person or a situation, and to think how I would want someone to react to me in a similar situation. And therefore, I maybe act differently than I would have impulsively acted. So every time I go through this process in my mind, I'm having a parquet of a moment.
Wow, that's profound. I mean, we've been at this a long time, 11 months, and it gives us a lot of opportunities to learn a lot of different things. And that's a wonderful lesson. Thank you, Doreen, for sharing that with us. That's great sharing. Thank you. Paula.
My godmother was also my aunt. She was a little uptight if you knew her outside of work, but you loved her anyway, you know. But she's a great, great person, and she had a track record of 50 years of retail service in the the May Company, O'Neill's, Strauss family of stores. They changed regionally. In selling women undergarments and negligee. And, you know, women can be tough customers. And my aunt was, I said to her once, I said, how do you get through a day with customers? Because I just blew my mind that she was going on 50 years of taking care of people. And she said, you have to always remember that everybody is somebody to somebody else. And I have never forgotten that. And when I wake up in the morning and I apply that, my day gets so much better, because whether I was teaching college students, or I'm working with volunteers in nonprofit, or I'm with customers every day who are already having a bad day because I sell car parts. You don't go to a car parts store just for fun. You go because your car is shot. As you keep that right here, like write it on the insides of your eyelids, your whole outlook changes. And it does amazing things to you, because I have a tough time being my own best friend and a fan of myself. And that has helped a lot. When you think that you are somebody to somebody else, so is everyone else. And so everyone has worth, and it makes it easier to serve people.
Right. And those of us in service positions remember that every day, because that's what we do. And I have to say, when you were talking about that, it reminded me that about, 7 or 8 years ago, when we started to have mass killings in the country, instead of just saying, if 10 people were dead, the news media started to show the picture and tell the story of that person. So it reminds me that each person is someone and belongs to someone else, and they're not just a name or a number especially. So that's what I was thinking about when you said that. Karen.
I have actually, through this wonderful, wonderful experience of being on here just about every day, I've learned to, I have 3 daughters, which I have 3 daughters. I have learned to listen to them differently. More of a calmness comes over me. I mean, they all have lots to say about everything, and me in particular. But I have, this has really taught me that you can really listen to someone, and what you first thought they were saying, it's not really what they were saying. So that's what this has brought to me.
Thank you, Karen. That's great knowledge. So we're going to go to Edna, and then I think we're going to finish up so we can recite Muna's Kaddish.
So you never know when these things are going to come up. And I'm listening to the news the other day, and a woman is on talking about a food pantry or food service she's setting up for her community because They are in dire need of it. And how does she end? If not me, who? If not now, when? And I just stopped what I was doing.
Yeah.
We had one more person. Andrea had her hand up.
I didn't see that, Debbie. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Andrea. Thank you, Edna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for noticing. I just wanted to tell everyone I was recently reading a book called Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and she refers to Salah and how important that is. And that is a word that is repeated in Psalms, and it is to stop and to slow down and just to take a moment and process the information that you've been given. And I have looked at my life and decided that I just need a community, and I thank everyone for giving me that community and closing lots of parts of my life.
And, you know, we say that this is a holy community and we welcome everyone. And, you know, it's wonderful to hear a lot of you sharing some very personal things today. And that's what makes us a holy community, is that we could share that with each other today and feel very comfortable and come back on Monday and do it again. So thank you, Andrea. Thank you. And, you know, it sort of wraps it up for all of us. It makes us remember who we are and what we are and why we're together, and the learning that we do in the studying of Torah. So thank you. Thanks to everyone who shared. And I know that we're going to move on, so we have an opportunity to recite Muna's Kaddish. Dina, I think you're reading the list. Is that right?
Evelyn Seelig, Sue Press, Leona Ellickberg, Dolores Megan, Phyllis Haas, David Copeland, Ivan Stanton, Hilda Stern, Sylvia Kraus, Hope Dillon, Herb Lubars, Hannah Bat Shimon Carline, Ellen Babbitt, Theodore Fishman, Richard Merrick, Lillian Tobias, Doris Hildebrandt, Ruth Lewis Bloomfield, Michael Klingbaum, Shirley Shapiro, Carol Hope Taub, David Levy, Phyllis Gruens Weinstein, Robert Maller, Sandy Levine, Officer Brian Sicknick, Ed Jotkowitz, Sandy Ironi, Sandra Silbar, Sylvia Gurel, Yvette Catlin.
Selma Jarrell.
Sorry.
Selma. Thank you.
Yvette Catlin, Rabbi Michael Kane, Mervyn Fish, Oscar Warnick, Alana Finkelstein, or Stein, whichever, Bernice Albert, Toby Case, Harry Polakov, Irene Kosman, Marilyn Cheskis Lear, Madison Huist, Ernestine Loeb Hamel Erkin, Shelley Barr, Miriam Clow, Barbara Roth Roberts, Saul Fishman, Effie Pollock, Arnie Levinson, Marla Goldberg, Davida Shipkowitz, Larry King, Rebecca Silverman, Irene Kosman, Saul Fishman, Herb Shapiro, Ike Cohen, Rabbi Dr. Abraham Tversky, Rabbi Stephen Lerner, Amy Seltzer Perlstein, no, excuse me, Perlman, Michael Schrank, Nan Freed, Barbara Kaplowitz, Rabbi Eric Wilner, and,
Okay,
and Ike Cohen.
thank you. So I always say it takes a village to keep us on track, and I want to thank Fran Silverman, who realized that we read the Psalm for Thursday. So in order to keep this kosher and for us to be able to recite Morning's Kaddish, Debbie Lempert's going to put up the Psalm for Friday and read it very quickly, and then we're going to put up the slide for Morning's Kaddish.
Also today, Audrey has yard site. Correct, Audrey? You want to tell them who while I share the
Yes.
screen?
My mother-in-law, Pauline Maddens.
Thank you, Audrey. And is there anyone else that has your site today?
Yes, my wife, her first yard site is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Charles. Wow. The year has, wow, it's really taken you through. We're happy that you are with us and you found us, and we remember her and you. Thank you, Charles,
you
for
all
sharing
very
that.
My father's starts tomorrow night.
Okay, Marion. What's his name?
Abraham ben Yosef Sundel.
Thank you, Marion.
All right, is this the correct psalm?
This is the psalm that was read today, so we don't need to do it again.
Yeah, this is for the psalm.
Oh, so we did read the Psalm for Friday. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we read the correct Psalm. We were kosher. Okay, and who's leading us in Morning's Kaddish today?
Marion.
Okay, Marion, in memory of your
Beloved.
Thank you.
Father.
Thank you. Thank you, Toby.
Okay. Let's do it. Yiskadal v'yiskadash me rabah yamal v'ro yamlich malchusei hayekon Chaye Israel Agara Amen. Yehi Maya Yespera Yisman Yisnase Yisadar Kusha Bela Amen. Yehesh Shlomo Shemaiah Chaim Aleinu V'Yalkol Israel Amen. Yaseh Shalom B'Mama Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yalkol Israel Amen.
Amen. Amen. And Marion, we know that his memory continues to bless you. We thank you all. We're going to get off very quickly so that we can all join Sharsheret. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom, a meaningful, restful Shabbat.
Shalom, everybody.
And we'll see you Monday.
Thank you, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome back.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.